Okay, this one is going to be a shout out to all of the through hikers on the Appalachian Trail this year. This is 2022. What month is it? This is May. All right. But if you've never done the AT and you're just listening in or watching this, that's totally fine. But you may not get all of the things I'm going to say. But here's what I want to do. I want to give a shout out to all the hikers I met over the past couple of days, and then just share some ideas, some wisdoms that I learned from when I did my through hike in 2015. Okay, so this past week I had the opportunity to drive down to Damascus, Virginia, where I volunteered with the One Way Ministries team, and it's something I've wanted to do since my through hike in 2015. I just didn't have the opportunity to do it, but I was glad I finally did. So on Wednesday of last week, I drove down in my Wrangler from Philly to Damascus. It was about a 9 hour drive with a few breaks in there, and it was so awesome to be in hiker culture again. And the reason is because civilized life has got a lot of performance to it, you know, with how you dress and how you talk and with the frequency by which you shower. Yeah. But it felt like it was a great to be among some ragamuffins and misfits and a ragtag group of people, because I feel like I was always that before the trail, especially during, even sometimes after. But anyways, here's the thought. Let me give a shout out. I kept a pretty dutiful list of all you through hikers that I had a conversation with. I'm going to say as many as I can. I'm going to drop a few references. But if I miss your name, I apologize. But here we go. I want to say this to all these people. Hold on. I have to pull up my list of the hikers. All right. So far, nice to meet you, bud. I hope you have a good time out there on the trail. Keep going, and we'll see. Quest, good to meet you too. Unhurry, what's up? I'm not sure if you'll ever listen to this, but that's okay. Mind well, you're doing some good stuff out there. You're out there to help people with their own mental health and help people overcome depression and suicide by helping people get outside. Kudos to you and good luck on starting your nonprofit, Eyes Open Outdoors. I think that's what it's called. Mind well, what's up? Littlefoot, yo, nice to meet you too. Ulasina, I hope you hear this. I really enjoyed the conversations that we had, and I apologize. I forget what your name means. I remember it's a Native American nickname, but you know what? I hope our paths cross again. Mountain Doctor, thank you for our conversations on the front porch, and it was cool all throughout trail days running into you and just giving the heads up, you know, like the nod of respect that guys do for each other. So it's good running into you. Here's a four person group: Bug, Little Spoon, Feinstein, and Women's Wear. I hope your tramily does real well, and I'm gonna say a phrase that only you'll understand. Shalom, baby. Jurassic, you're a kind dude, man, and an incredibly intelligent person. I really enjoyed all of our conversations. I hope we cross paths again. Arch and Thistle, what's up? I hope you keep making your way towards Katahdin. Walden, we're going to catch up when you get back to Philly, all right? We're going to get some cheesesteaks, and you're going to tell me about everything that happened after Damascus, okay? But it's going to be good to run into you again. Red Panda, I hope you get the chance to hear this. I'm going to reach out and send this to you, but I think you're in a good spot. I really think that you're doing the trail for the right reasons, and I think you're going to have a pretty transformative time out there. Kudos to you. Grasshopper, an Updog, Spicy Brown, and Frostbite. Oof, you got a good crew there. So I hope you stay together. And also, you're the first, was it Frostbite? You're the first Irish hiker I think I've ever met. That's awesome. Skywalker. That's probably one of the best names ever, especially since I'm a Star Wars fan. I appreciated all of our conversations, even though they were short. Grace, I know you're going to listen to this, or at least I hope you do. And I hope you get a really good breakfast at the next town you stop into. Caleb, it's good to meet you too. And of course, Killer. Killer's real name is Carol, but it's good to meet her too. So shout out to all you Thru-Hikers, and I hope you have a great rest of the trail. So I just want to share a few thoughts, just a few pieces of wisdom. You might laugh at them, and to be honest, if you're a Thru-Hiker, you'll probably understand these isms a little bit better than those just listening in. So here we go. All right. When I did the trail in 2015, I kept a log of different isms or phrases that I thought would help keep me on track. And if you don't mind, I just want to share a few with you, just as encouragement. I hope this helps you. Yeah. Okay. I wrote down number 1, take the blue blaze. The Appalachian Trail is marked the whole way by little white markings, paintings on the trees every, 50 yards or so. Don't let the white blaze get in the way of a good story. If you know that there's a waterfall on this blue trail off to the side and it's worth your time, it's only like 0.2 or 0.3, trust me, it's so much better to go and have a good story from swimming in that waterfall than to skip it just for the sake of getting some miles in. A lot of people are sick of the rat race, so they quit their job and go hike the AT, and they make that into a new rat race. Don't do that. Enjoy every blue blaze, all right? Benton Mackay, when he came up with the idea of the AT, he actually wanted people to not do it in one shot, and he thought the white blaze is just the connector to the real more meaningful things, which are the blue blazes. Yet, sometimes Thru-Hikers overemphasize the white blaze for the blue blaze that leads out to an overlook, that leads to a mountaintop, that leads to a waterfall or to a swimming hole. Take the blue blaze when you can. All right? That's number 1. Number 2, take pictures of people. It's so common to take pictures of a valley or, like I said, a waterfall, but you're going to want to remember the faces of the people that you hiked with. So don't forget to take as many pictures as you can of the people, not just the views that you see. Okay. Benton Mackay, number 3, wanted people to find their soul again out there. So at the time when the Industrial Revolution was booming and he thought people were having too much factory life, he devised the idea of the AT to help people on the East Coast reconnect with themselves rather than just dehumanize themselves by just becoming factory workers. Okay? So if you go out on the trail and you come back a better person, great job. You did it as you're supposed to. Okay? It's not about finishing the trail. It's about coming back reconnected with yourself. So prioritize that. Okay? Next up, you already know this one. Hike your own hike. You don't have to listen to me, and you certainly don't have to listen to anyone else tell you how to do your through hike. If you like anything that I say here, cool. If not, it's totally fine. Hike your own hike. Don't quit on a bad day. Is that number 5 or so? Everybody knows that one. You're going to have 3 days in a row of rain at some point. But somehow, quote unquote, the trail provides. Every time you've got 3 bad days in a row, just breathe. Sometimes at the next road crossing, you're going to get some really great trail magic that's going to restore your faith in humanity and give you the gumption. Be like, oh man, I can do this. All right. There's some really wonderful people out there that go to road crossings and just set up barbecues for Thru-Hikers for free. Hang in there. You can do it. Number 6, remember your why. There's a lot of people that go out on the trail just to have a good experience, and that's good. But sometimes for people, they need a deeper why than just having a good experience. And it's easier to get through the hard days if you remember why you started. I wanted to get over this, or I wanted to get over that, or I wanted to remember how much grit I have. I wanted to challenge myself, or this was a goal of mine to do with my grandpa, but my grandpa passed away, and so now I'm doing it for the two of us. Have a really strong why. And your why can evolve while you're doing the AT. That's totally fine. And you might not even know why you're out there, but figure out at halfway when you get to Harper's Ferry, oh, this is why I was doing it. I didn't realize why, but now I do. And that's kind of mystical in that sense. That's kind of fascinating. And these last three I have here are just going to be funny ones. I hope you don't mind. All right. Number one of the funny ones. When in doubt, the trail goes up. If ever you're walking northbound or southbound, I don't know how a trail happens to do this, but wherever there's a fork and you don't see the white blaze about which way to go, it almost always goes uphill. So don't bother going downhill. It's almost like take the high road always. That's a good life principle there, isn't it? So when in doubt, the trail goes up. Number two of the funny ones. No carb left behind. I like that one. Any chance that you have to eat some food, never leave food on your plate. You're going to be burning like 7,000 calories a day. So no matter what, you're going to need that fuel. All right? No carb left behind. You can't say no man left behind. You can encourage each other too, but you can also encourage your friend to eat all the carbs possible. And if you have to, you can also drink your carbs. That's fine as well. And then the last one, this is my favorite. Last one to Katahdin wins. So as you're going north, again, don't make the trail into a new rat race. Instead, take your time. Go as fast as you need to without hurting yourself. But the longer you can stay out there on the trail, the better in some ways. I know of so many people that they finished in August, and that's okay. Hike your own hike. But some of them actually started texting us from off trail saying, take your time. I wish I did it slower. I blasted through it and I didn't need to. So make the best of it, all right? You Thru-Hikers are an interesting breed. I think that the trail has this interesting ability of somehow being like a mystical experience, and I can't explain how or why, but there's something about hitting the endorphins every day, and there's something about the fact that you get to see people at their best and their worst within a week's time sometimes. And there's something to the fact that you earn your views. The PCT on the West Coast apparently has beautiful, gorgeous views all the time. But the AT makes you work for them. You're going to have a really great view sometimes every 2 or 3 days. But when they happen, pay attention to them. All right? And I want to finish with a quick story, if that's all right. I was with a group of hikers in 2015, and we were going through Shenandoah National Park, somewhere around mile 900. So if you're getting close to that, you'll know what I mean. And off to the right in Shenandoah National Park, there's a view, a short little blue blaze where you get to see a valley view. And so the crew that I was hiking with that day, we sat down and we started eating our lunches. We were eating Pringles. For some reason, I remember that. And we're just laying back in our packs and we're looking over the valley. And somebody else came along and stomped right next to us, took a picture of the valley, and then stormed off. And they were another Thru-Hiker. You could smell it, and you could tell just by looking at them. Oh, wow. And one of the guys in my group kind of blurted out, "You're doing it wrong." And that hiker turned around angry. He's like, "What do you mean I'm doing it wrong?" It's like, "You didn't look at the valley." And the hiker said, "I took a picture of it." And he's we all just like, you missed the point. And he said, "I had to do 32 miles today. It's what I've been doing, averaging 30, almost as if he was bragging." And then he stormed off again. Like, that was such a strange interaction. But we all kind of looked at each other as we're laying on our backs on our packs, eating Pringles, and said, let's stay here just another half hour on purpose. because he didn't enjoy the view. We're going to for him. And there's this beautiful idea from Friedrich Nietzsche. We're going to get a little philosophical, where he talks about you have to stare at the abyss until it stares back at you. You have to look at all the darkness and depravity, all the meaningless things that happen in life, the absurdities of it all. You have to look at that abyss until that abyss turns and acknowledges you back. Well, I kind of realized that there's an inverse idea of that. There's a positive view of it. And so I chose, at least on that day, to look at the valley and be present to it until that valley looked back at me and acknowledged me back. There's like a mutual intersubjectivity. We both acknowledge each other, and that's when you know it's time to move on. And so if I can encourage any last thoughts, when you're enjoying a moment, either with other hikers or you're enjoying a particular view that you have in front of you, be present to it and look at it and stare at it and acknowledge it, the moment, the view, the valley, the waterfall, the hamburger that you're eating for free from Trail Magic. Be present to it until it feels like that moment is present back to you and acknowledges you back. And that's, I think, one of the ways that I made best use of the trail. And on my good days, I even remember to do that type of reflective acknowledgement in my life now after the trail. Sometimes it just means out loud saying, I'm enjoying this moment. And sometimes it just means being quiet and just watching it. So all this goes to say, this episode is just for the Thru-Hikers. If you're listening in or watching this, that's fine. However, to all of you Nobo or Sobo Thru-Hikers in AT this year, I hope that you do as much of the trail as you're supposed to do. If it means completing, great. If it means you get to Vermont and you go home, or Harper's Ferry and you go home, that's fine. But I hope that you literally have a life-changing experience. I hope it's positive all the way through. I hope that you find your soul again, especially if civilized pre-trail life seemed to crush it for you or on you. I hope that the trail does exactly what you need, and I hope that you literally make the best of it, okay? So please feel free to share this with other Thru-Hikers if they need encouragement, and if you want to, also invite them to reach out to me if I can be any trail magic, even if it's just sending them a positive text every so often. I'd be happy to do that, all right? So for those of you that I met at Trail Days, it was awesome meeting you. I look forward to following some of you on Instagram. And I don't know, man. Hike your own hike. Have a great hike, and last one to Katahdin wins. All right? Grace and peace to all of you.